First annual One Stop School Shop campaign kicks off today. The campaign is a collaborative effort between the Service League of Green Bay, Howe Community Resource Center, NewCap, and the Salvation Army of Greater Green Bay. Organizers say the goal of this first ever combined back-to-school event is to alleviate the burden of parents who in years past have had to make numerous stops to collect all the necessary supplies their child needs.
The support behind it has already been really positive. Working together just makes more sense than individual people doing the same thing in different avenues. So the support around all of us collaborating and being able to pool our resources has been really good.
The event will also feature a resource row to provide families access to crucial services like eye exams and immunizations. The One Stop School Shop is scheduled for the first week of August at UW Green Bay's Kress Center. Local